Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully everything is working. I was gonna have some, like, my original stream music to start off with, and turns out I've not used OBS in so long, I don't actually remember how to get the audio to come through, so we have Spotify. I hope that's okay. Just gonna go jump straight to this screen, because there's no point me doing a big camera. I'll just be mostly fapping on this screen anyway. So, hey Michael, welcome in. Hello. I'm just gonna turn my microphone down a little bit because I notice it's peaking. Hopefully that's not too bad. Because I've got it quite a lot further away than it usually is. Yeah, I thought I'd turn it up, but I might not actually need to do that. Audio is okay, lovely, good. As long as the music isn't too loud, or like, you know, as long as the microphone isn't like peaking or whatever. That's weird. The display on the camera just went off. Don't know why. It's fine. I think it's still display. So, oh god, you can tell I haven't done this in a while. Yeah. Also, please ignore the hair because I just jumped out of the shower, so it's still wet, which is why it looks a bit of a poodle perm at the moment. I couldn't be bothered to sit here with the hair straighteners and the hair dryer, so yeah. Cool. Well, welcome in. How are you doing today, Michael? Hope you're doing alright. So obviously it's been a little while. I wasn't anticipating not streaming for as long as I have this week, as I had the whole week off. Although it seems to be flying by and I'm not happy about that. But it does mean that I've managed to get all of the bags, and I've even labelled them all. I didn't actually put gems in the bags yet because I thought I'll wait and do something on stream, make it look like I was sort of productive, even if I don't do many dots. Well, thanks, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm doing all right, doing better than I have been. It's been a time, shall we say? It's been a time. I was going to stream over, last Friday. I was going to say over the weekend. Last Friday, I was going to stream. Things happened. I'm doing better now, but I had a bit of a health scare, for full disclosure, and yeah, wasn't really in a good place to be doing streaming after that. So I was like, I'm just gonna not. And then yeah, just been busy doing other things. Okay, so we've got our little bags here. So I'm just gonna drop my scissors. Just gonna start bagging these up. Okay. I think this is probably actually a good thing to do while sort of stream is starting and, you know, not many people are here, because then at least they're not missing out on the... I don't know, is exciting the right word for dots? Or at least I suppose more of the main content, I shall say. If I'm doing this bit, sort of like the prep work. Just trying to figure out. These are actually slightly slimmer than I was anticipating, so just trying not to knock the dots everywhere. So far, so good. Hopefully feeling better now. Yeah, I'm still not feeling 100%. Mostly just incredibly tired, but then it's me, so when am I not? I can already see that there is a dot in there that shouldn't be in there. I realised that the camera doesn't focus. Oh, it does. Oh, there we go. Huh. Maybe I just wasn't holding things still long enough. But yeah, there's a blue dot in there and it shouldn't be. But also I have no idea what colour blue dot that actually is. So that's just going to have to go sit in a pile. I think I need to start making a pile for these. Hey who, welcome in. These things are like a manual dot matrix printer. Yeah, definitely. Right, this is a do-it-yourself print along. But yeah, the main. Ooh, please go in the bag. Yeah. Hopefully the worst part of the health scare thing is over. But I'm sort of humming and ahhing, getting back in touch with the doctors and being like, hey, so this happened and kind of need you to deal with it, because I know they won't deal with it because they're really terrible at actually doing anything that is, you know, their job. So I'm kind of just like, I'm bothered. Fortunately, it's not one of those things that you can really just go like, you know, once I'm doing properly, do it yourself. But oh, such is life. Oh no. How am I gonna get this dot out of here? He's fallen further down the packet, the little bugger. No. You know what? It's staying in there. Because I'm not tipping all of these out. I could, but I was going to say I could tip them into the tray, but the tray already has gems in, so I couldn't do that. Yeah. So I will confess that I did do some of this off stream. My reason being is that it was literally like, I think a few here and a few over here that were a different colour, so I hadn't got to those ones yet. So I did those off stream to like 5 minutes, to be fair, because I didn't know when I was going to get back on next. And obviously if it's not, if there's any gaps, because the plastic's no longer stuck to the thing, if there's any gaps then it would have dried out. So I'm glad that I did do that, because it would have dried out by now probably. And been covered in dust, because I have taken a little while longer than I anticipated getting back into this. So I'm just going to put all of the little bags I've done out of the way and just grab a couple more. 26, 24, 24, 26. Nice. Oh, there's a poor sad little crushed one in there. He got flattened. Love Grogu's little smiley face, he's so cute. Has anyone here actually seen the latest series of Mandalorian? I think I binge watched that over like 2 days. And I actually got some time. Which reminds me, I still need to binge watch Witcher sometime this week. I might do that a little bit later. It's just bloody typical, right? This is like, well, I took this week off as holiday. And since then, like, all of the streamers that I would typically watch during the day that I can never see because work, none of them are streaming. Like, they're either on holiday or, like, doing other things, and I'm like, I know they didn't do it to spite me, but it does feel like that sometimes. I just wanted to watch some streams for once in my damn life. Oh, do I have a bag for 5? I don't think I do. I think I somehow missed the fact that there was a 5th one. Huh. Oops. Okay, well, we'll cut that one off and just leave that to the side for now. It was like attached to the back of the other one almost. I hadn't actually noticed it was there. And apparently I couldn't count. Maths is not my strong suit. We all know this, to be fair. No, I've managed to avoid Disney's massive milking of the franchise so far. That is totally fair. Not seen any of it. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I liked the first. Well, I loved the first series. Considering, right, I'm not a excuse me. I am a Marvel fan. I am not a massive Disney. No, come on, brain, Jesus. I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. That was it. Wow, my brain is just, Freudian slipping all over the place. Not a particularly massive Star Wars fan. I did watch the movies when I was younger. Don't really remember much of them. But they just never really appealed to me. Maybe if I watched them now, I'd be more interested in them because, like, I don't really have a whole lot of understanding of a lot of the stuff in those ones before. So, yeah. At some point I do kind of want to go and watch them. But to be fair, Mandalorian, well, the first series, when I actually watched that, kind of made me want to go back and watch the movies. Then I realised how many movies there actually are now, and I kind of changed my mind a little bit, because that would take several years. But the first season was really, really good. Second season was pretty good. Third season was not as good, and I was really kind of disappointed. Like, it felt, I can't even remember much of it now, but it didn't feel the same as the other two. Like, the first two sort of had a bit more, I feel like a bit more of a continuing story, whereas this one felt like a different thing each time. And it was just the same thing of like, oh, we're going on an adventure in the ship. Oh, this tragic thing has happened. We need to go help these people. Oh, let's go do it in a, slightly comedic kind of dad and son against the world kind of thing. And I was just like, this doesn't feel right. I mean, I also watched the Boba Fett one, and there's another one in there. There's another blue one in this one as well. It's like, come on, guys, you can tell it's brown. Like, this is not very difficult. Yeah, I watched the Boba Fett one as well, and I did not like that at all. Not for the character, not for anything like that. But they basically just made it Mandalorian while you were waiting for the next Mandalorian series. Like, that was it. Like, I think you had, like, because they're not very long series. I think that was probably about 8, 10 episodes maybe. Possibly even less. So yeah, it wasn't a particularly long series. But I think that came out sort of between seasons of Mandalorian. And it started off, you know, with Boba Fett's story and, you know, what happened to him. Because I'm sure everyone assumed that he died or something. And then about halfway through, it basically just becomes Mandalorian. Mandalorian turns up, and then everyone's like, yay, it's Mando! And somehow Boba Fett just becomes obsolete in his own literal series. It was like, and then they didn't even bring him back for the next Mandalorian series, and I don't think they're planning to. It was like, that's actually really shitty, because, like, he's one of the biggest, I thought he was like one of the biggest characters. Or at the very least, he's one of the most long running, obviously, because it was the same guy that played him originally, which is why it was like so good that they got him for a series. And then yeah, they literally just Mando'd up his series and throws him out of it. I was like, this isn't why I was watching. I mean, yay, Mandalorian, but I wasn't watching Mandalorian, I was watching Boba Fett. So that was a bit awkward to watch, to be honest, because you know that, like, that isn't, the actor is not going to be happy with that, and can't blame him either. Everyone raved about it, which is guaranteed to put me off for quite a long time. That is fair. I'm exactly the same with things. Like, if people are like, oh my god, this show is so good, you've got to see it. Maybe not in that voice, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, no thanks. Like, if it's that hyped up, I know I'm not going to enjoy it. I mean, 2 words: Love Island. Oh, that's 5. Don't have that one yet. But yeah, I did enjoy it for the fact that it was Baby Grogu. That's literally it. Just Pedro Pascal and Baby Grogu. It's the only reason why I watched Mandalorian. Not because I, like, find him attractive, I just really like their relationship in the show. Because it's just very cute. Same reason why I watched Last of Us, or at least started to watch Last of Us, because I just like Pedro Pascal as an actor. And that was actually really bloody good, and I cannot wait for the next series. I've watched a couple of the movies, but the franchise doesn't really interest me at all that much. I've got 6 of the Star Wars films on Blu-ray. Some are getting a view. Fair enough. Yeah, First Village. That could have gone so much worse. At least it fell on the plastic. Yeah, I mean, so I remember that I have watched the like the trilogy movies, but I can't remember how many Star Wars films there's actually been, or like when they started. I remember watching the ones with Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. But I don't know whether those were newer at the time or whether those were the originals, because I was not very old. So I don't want to see like, oh yeah, I watched the original trilogy, because if Star Wars fan comes in here, I'm gonna have my ass completely handed to me. And those are a level of nerds that scare me, shall we say. But yeah, I remember watching those ones, and I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. But I was, I don't know. It's weird, because as a kid, I don't really remember watching a whole lot of, like, well, I remember watching quite a few, like, sci-fi things, but I don't think I was into it as much as I am now. And again, I don't think I was really into much TV besides Buffy and Simpsons as a child, so, you know, the original Simpsons, shall we say, like, not the shit that they do now. I haven't even seen any of the more recent ones, so I don't even remember what series they're on. Got a pile of plastic in the corner now. Glad Disney haven't decided to make a spin-off series featuring Jar Jar Binks. Found the Phantom Menace was boring. Jar Jar just made it worse. I think that was the point, though. Does anyone unironically like Jar Jar Binks, though? Like, I think he's probably just the character that was meant to be so annoying that you would constantly talk about him. And as long as you're talking about him, they're still getting recognition for the show, so... or maybe whatever you call it. But yeah, I remember him and he was fucking annoying. Yeah, give it time. Well, yeah, this is also the thing. It's like, there probably is a market for having Jar Jar Binks' own series. They probably just haven't found a way to tie him into the current ones yet. Although I would definitely pay to watch a movie where Mando just absolutely wails on Jar Jar Binks for 2 hours. You know, just pulverizes him. 1977, starting with episode 4, because why would you not start to film them out of order? Yeah, that's a bit that confuses me. It's like, okay, I'm coming in, like, your whole point is for me to literally come in halfway through the conversation. Why? And I think it's for me as well. It's like, logically, if you do it like that, then if you're casting the same actors, it's not going to work, because you're starting episode 4, so presumably, even if you were doing 3, 2, and then 1, well, specifically if you're doing 3, 2, and then 1, well, it takes a couple of years per movie, at least. So you're looking at 8 years before you start on the first one, when they presumably should have looked younger. They've aged 8 years? Like, unless you can explain there's some kind of weird Benjamin Button cycle in space, I don't feel like that was really going to work. Only seen Pedro Pascal in one of the Equalizer films. Oh, okay. I know they've just released a new Equalizer film, haven't they? I'll be honest. I keep seeing the trailer. I don't know if I'd really be interested. It just looks like another smashy, shooty, shooty, beat 'em up kind of thing. And I'm like, nah. Ooh. Sorry, just making all the noises now. But didn't actually know who was in those. I'll be honest, I didn't actually... This is gonna sound terrible. I didn't actually know anything about Pedro Pascal until I watched Mando, because I can't remember what other series he's in. It's not Breaking Bad, but it's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, I don't remember which one it is that he's in, but I never. Oh, Narcos, isn't it? I think. I've never watched them, so I've never actually seen him in anything. Before I watched Mandalorian, and I was like, oh, this guy's actually good. Like, actually knows how to act, which would explain it. Sorry, trying to grab my. There we go. No, actually, no. I tell a lie. I saw a tweet the other day where it was about something that he'd been in, like when he was really, really young, and well, really young looking, and I was like, I didn't know that was him. I can't remember for the life of me what it was now. Right. Well, I did have a little bag for these and I've knocked it somewhere. I think that is entirely possible because I kept knocking these off the desk. Yeah, Equalizer 3 is the only film I'm remotely interested in this year. That is absolutely fair. Yeah. I mean, oof, just flinging the entire thing. Jeez. Yeah. I have been going to the cinema a lot more lately, which I realise sounds, you know, super. Ooh, look at me, I've got so much money. The phone contract that I have for my wonderfully £13 a month SIM deal. Not an advertisement, just like, yeah, I pay as little as humanly possible. I get £3 cinema ticket every weekend. So I have had the perfect excuse of going to the cinema a lot more because it's like, well, for £3, yeah, I'm gonna go. Because I ain't going when it's like 15. That's ridiculous. Like, I get it. You know, it's not cheap to run the screenings and stuff, but I wouldn't be able to do that once a month. You know, when you think about it, I could see 3 movies in a month for the same price as one ticket. There's kind of no brainer there. I'd rather go do that. Mega hype, that is Barbenheimer, Can Get in the Sea. Might watch those at some point in the next 10 years. I will say, right, forgetting all of the hype that has since surrounded them, I was interested in seeing the Oppenheimer movie for ages, and you know, I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to go see Robert Downey Jr. So there is that. I'll put it that way so you guys can actually read it. And the Barbie movie I was kind of humming and hawing about, but I did actually go watch. I liked them both. I thought that they were actually good movies. I don't know why it sort of had the hot line. I know because they were releasing on the same weekend. They had the whole Barbenheimer thing. But each individually, they were actually really, really good. The Oppenheimer one had, like, well, all I'll say is don't go watch it with parents, because there was a lot of nudity in that. The Barbie one was hysterical. And, you know, who doesn't like Margot Robbie? So there is that. All it is a meme, like when Doom and Animal Crossing released on the same day. Imagine Doom Guy doing his thing in Animal Crossing. Yeah. Now that would make me feel slightly, you know, just being like, don't give me all of this emotional abuse that I haven't turned on the game in like 3 months, or I'm just gonna set the Doom guy on you. And then you will see how I feel. Oh, that would get rid of all the villagers I don't want. That would be amazing. Can we do that, please? Just make that as a mod. And then I can just shoot that hideous toga-wearing Trump haircut there that I really cannot stand. Rip and tear. Heck yeah. Okay. I have done all of the little packets, which are now in a completely messy little pile to the corner of the screen, so that's fine. So I'm gonna actually get started. I'm just gonna try and like peel these back and count them. I'm gonna do another 5, I think, and just try and leave it as like ones of 5. 3, 4, 5. Because I don't have mega amounts of time to do this in, so I want to make sure that I'd rather do like a small amount and then do another small amount and keep going like that, rather than trying to do too much and then end up rushing through them. So I had 15, which is F. So look at all the Fs I can give today. Unless I just put these, I might actually put these back in the packet and then go from the start again, just because they're all in the middle and I want to make sure that it's all like even. But yeah, I will say that the sort of going back to the movies, like the Barbie one is not what I was try and put my teeth back in and say that again. The Barbie one was not what I was expecting. Let me start with. I thought it was just gonna be very bimbo. You know, just, well, what Barbie is. And it was very accurate, shall we say, to the realities of what it would be like. Like, well, very accurate to what it is like as, you know, a woman trying to live up to the expectations of Barbie. Yeah, it was very interesting. So I would recommend that one. There's 2 reasons why I want to watch the Barbie movie. 1, it's Barbie. 2, don't like Ryan Gosling. You know what? That's absolutely fair. I don't like Ryan Gosling either. It's I mean, a lot of people will probably say like, "Oh, Barbie's gone woke," blah blah blah. You know, it was very much from a feminist standpoint of being like, Barbie was supposed to be, you know, I'm not really good at analysing things, but essentially my takeaway from it was like, you know, Barbie was supposed to be a way of making girls and women feel represented and sort of telling them that they don't just have to live by the kitchen sink, you know, that they can actually go out and do things and, you know, be whatever they want. And essentially just, it was very honest in that actually that's not what a lot of people have taken from Barbie's meaning, and sort of showing the reality, which is actually that instead we were just held to Barbie's ridiculous you know, beauty standards, and that actually it didn't make us feel very much better or freed about ourselves. And then watching the Barbies take on that and then go, shit, that's not actually what I thought my purpose was. Saw the moans about the Barbie film being feminist. Yeah. Like, I think this is a problem. And this is exactly what the movie was showing, is that you hear Barbie now and you think blonde, dumb bimbo. And it was sort of that thing of like, that's not what Barbie was, that's not what Barbie was ever meant to be. And sort of a way of, I guess, trying to reclaim that a little bit, I guess. But yeah, that's totally fair. Like, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's still like, that wasn't the point of Barbie from day one. What wasn't the point of Barbie? Sorry, my brain isn't working very well. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was a good movie for what it was. I wasn't expecting it to be as real, shall we say. But also completely understandable. There's probably quite a lot of people that don't want to go watch this Barbie movie. I will also say that I dressed up as Ken because I didn't want to be in pink. I'll still wait for the hype to fall away. Yeah, no, that is totally fair. I mean, I don't know if it's actually still in the cinema, but my god. I mean, considering that I had been going to the cinema a little bit more recently, or a little bit more frequently recently, rather. Up until the point when that movie came out, I barely ever saw more than 20 people in the cinema at once. Like, I mean, admittedly, I didn't see it on the weekend that The Little Mermaid came out. I know there was a lot of hype about that, but I can't remember what I wanted to go see on the opening night. There's quite a few that I've gone to see on like the release day, and barely anybody in the cinema. That one could not get in the door. It was ridiculous. Like, there was literally people queuing all the way to like the back of the cinema. It was ridiculous. To the point I didn't even realise that they had like very smaller queues. Because I did go to the cinema on Barbie's release day. It wasn't to go see Barbie, I went to go see Insidious. Because I didn't know that there was actually a fourth one out. So I was like, oh, I want to go watch this. And yeah, I'm amazed that I actually managed to get into the thing to actually even purchase a ticket. Because it was busy. Oh, pink would suit me, Hoof. I just hate the colour. I've never been a fan of pink. I don't like wearing it. I was very, very glad when I had my friend's wedding to go to last year that she wanted purple, because that would be my worst nightmare of being stuck in a horrible pink dress for hours. Yeah. I mean, most of my wardrobe is... Actually, I don't think I have a single... Yeah, that was also the other reason why I dressed up as Ken. Now, I don't actually own a single piece of pink clothing. I'm like, yeah, I don't actually have anything to go in. So... I got, I already had like a pair of, well, they're not board shorts, they're just like white linen shorts. I had a pair of those, and then I got like a tank top and a Hawaiian shirt, and I just went as Beach Ken, which was actually very apt for the show. for the movie, because the Ken in that is Beach Ken, which I didn't actually realise. So I was perfectly dressed. He didn't have a red Hawaiian shirt, so that was a bit disappointing. But yeah. Haven't been to the cinema for long enough. I can't remember what film it was I saw. That is fair. Don't think I've ever seen a film on release day. Yeah, like I went to. I'm trying to think of whether it is that I've seen them on like the proper release day. Like I've never done one of those, you know, stay up all night, midnight viewing, queuing out the door kind of nonsense. I will just go, this thing's just come out in the cinema. I guess I'll go watch it. The Whale. I think The Whale I did actually, I went to see it on the same week that it released. Didn't see that one actually on the first day that it released. Which is probably a good thing, because it was a good movie, it was depressing. And I also felt really guilty having gone to watch that. I don't know if anyone here has actually seen The Whale, the Brendan Fraser movie that came out earlier in the year. Yeah, didn't actually know what it was about, and it kind of made me feel a little bit guilty going into that viewing, having just chowed down KFC and then, you know, munching my way through ice cream in the viewing. So, put things in perspective a little bit. Used to have pink socks, wore them for work a couple of times, they didn't survive. Fair. Only midnight viewing I ever did was years ago when I saw Lord of the Rings at IMAX. Ooh. Now that would be worth it. If I could go back in time, and, you know, like, watch, like, know that I was gonna love a movie, because this is the trouble for me. It's like, if I don't know that I'm gonna like something, or I'm already not sure that I'm gonna like something, I wouldn't go watch it in the cinema. Because I don't like wasting money. There it is. I don't like wasting money, so it's sort of like it has to be a very safe bet that I'm going to enjoy that film, or at least like it to the point where I don't regret spending the money. Which, you know, for £3, it's a fair gamble that I'm gonna at least not hate it. We don't talk about Doctor Strange. Moving on. Yeah, that was a waste of £3. But I don't remember what I was saying. Nope, it's gone. It's gone. Oh yeah, if I could go back in time, knowing that I was going to enjoy a movie, but not know anything about the movie, so I could go back and watch it again for the first time, I would 100% do that with Lord of the Rings. I must have seen all of the films about 20 times. And I plan on watching them again at some point, because I absolutely love them. Hobbit can go die in a fire. It can go jump in Mount Doom. Don't care for them. Whatever the hell they thought they were doing with those movies, it was absolutely despicable, and I personally feel that somebody should, I wouldn't say get fired or get a kicking. I feel like they should be locked in a room for a couple of hours and left to reflect on their decision making on that movie. Because it was abysmal, and yeah, I never want to see the trilogy of The Hobbit again. You cannot make me. Don't know about The Whale. Having heard about, definitely not my kind of film. That is fair, yeah. Again, I went to see it because Brendan Fraser. Again, not because well, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not an unattractive guy. I didn't go watch it because, you know, I find him attractive. I went to go see it because I remember him being such an, you know, a good actor, and I really missed his movies, and I really want him to come back to acting, if he can, because I know that things have not been particularly easy. So I went for support more than anything. Support of a good actor. And it was actually a good film. Heartbreaking, but a good film. Don't watch too many films, to be honest. I'm not much of a fan of movies that last more hour 45 to 2 hours. My attention span doesn't last that long. That is absolutely fair. I much prefer series anyway. Pardon me. I much prefer series, like TV series to movies, because I don't like getting invested in a character that's gonna last for like 2 hours. I don't see the point in that. I prefer like long-term shows that, you know, I can sort of get interested in those characters and go, oh, that's, you know, exactly what I would expect them to do in this situation, or be like, that's weird, you know, kind of thing, or like, I guess just like the characters, you know, just have a bit more consistency. I'm not really good with like changing things up like constantly. I like to have like long-term things. So yeah, that's why mostly I go to watch, like if I'm going to the movies, it tends to be for Marvel, because that is connected in a lot of ways, or at the very least the same characters, or if it's either actors I know or like 4 characters I know. So I went to go see Insidious because for some reason, well, I'm not a horror person. I do not like horror films at all. Insidious is one of the very few that I ever actually voluntarily watched and have watched again since, because it's sort of more like a thriller. I can deal with jump scares. Jump scares I'm absolutely fine with. I don't like gore. I don't like all of that stuff, and just mindless violence. So I've seen 1 and 2. I know I've seen 1 and 2. I feel like I saw 3, but I don't remember. So yeah, when I saw that they had a 4th one out, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that. I mean, they did sort of like a flashback thing anyway, because I think it has been like, I think it's something like 9 years since they made the 3rd one. So nobody's gonna remember anyway. So, you know, they did a sort of flashback of like what happened at the start, which was really useful. That's why I prefer to watch them at home. I can pause when I want to. Imagine the chaos if you did that in a cinema. Oh god. Especially nowadays, you'd have so many people just pausing it constantly for a laugh, because people are just dicks. Not a fan of The Hobbit for the sole reason that Martin Freeman was in it. I don't rate him as an actor. I'll be honest, I'm just kind of like, he's just there. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't really know much about him as an actor, other than seeing him in the Hobbit movies. And then when he plays the he's not like with the police, but he's with some kind of agency or something in the Marvel movies, because he came in Black Panther. He's just vanilla. Like, it's just, yeah, he's not good, he's not bad, he's just not anything to me. It's very vanilla. Like, I can't say that I can say anything bad against him, but I can't really say that he's impressive. Like, I know that probably does sound very harsh, but it's just average. There isn't really anything that sets him apart for me. Other than I hear Freeman and I think, Morgan Freeman. I'm like, oh no, it's not him. It's the other one. And then I just get slightly disappointed. Horror is more your genre. Have you seen the Insidious ones then, Hoove? I know to a lot of horror fans, they're probably not really considered true horror movies. As I say, it's more like psychological horror kind of thing, which I deal with more. Probably because I'm sort of interested in psychology as a thing. These are so on the piss. I don't know what I've done with these. None of these look out of place is the thing. It's just that it's sort of like curving, just like ever so slightly that way. Martin Freeman generally plays an exaggerated version of Martin Freeman. Yeah. I do find that with some people is like, I don't know. I don't want to say that it's that they can't act. You know, I'm not an actress myself. At some point in my life I did want to be, but things happened. Or rather didn't happen. And I don't think I would be suited to it now anyway, so it's probably a good thing. But I do find that with some actors where it's just like they don't. The only thing that changes about them is the name. Like they don't have a different personality at all. It is just them playing someone with a different name. And you know, that works for some people, because some people, you can tell they are literally hired just for the name. With some characters though, I'm just like, why did you make this choice? You know, well, yeah, like The Rock. I feel like even Johnny Depp to a point, you know, people like that have just been like, yeah, they might have a nice personality already, but the whole point of them playing a character is that character has a personality. They have a backstory. They have a reason for being who they are, and they don't necessarily gel with that person. But then I've also seen instances where my brain has just completely like just dropped the thread that I was on. Yeah, like you see good actors that are like, you know, you can see them in so many different roles and they feel like a different person each time, kind of thing, you know. But it's like, for me, I think it's for me like the thing that always annoys me sometimes about sci-fi stuff is like, or even just maybe not always necessarily sci-fi, but like anything that is supposed to be like futuristic, or anything where a civilization, you know, has been reduced to a very small, like, dense place. And you're like, okay, so if everybody else in the entire world doesn't exist, why does everybody have different accents? Or vice versa, if, you know, this is supposed to be a group of, you know, ragtag, diverse people, why do they all have the same California, LA accent? Why? Why is it not possible for them to be different ever so slightly, you know? Or be the same if they are meant to be. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense in some places to have everyone you know, they're just all exactly the same person, basically. Saw Martin Freeman in a comedy drama where Dara Feway played a detective. In one scene, he was completely over the top in an interrogation scene. His performance in that single scene was absurd. Yeah, it does make you also wonder sometimes. It's like when you see things happen and you're like, how was the executive decision made to be like, yeah, that's fine, we don't need to reshoot this? You know. It's like, you can understand it if like the you know, in a single frame somewhere in a movie, like the boom arm is visible at the top of the camera screen. You can miss that. But when someone's acting is that bad, it's like, did you do another take? Or did they just do so many takes being that bad that you just gave up? Because personally, I probably would have just cut that scene. Just been looking for a few minutes. I have my shopping delivered. Ooh, nice. What you order? Can't just come in here telling us about food and then not tell us what you've had. I'm applying the same rules as Jew has. She would expect no less. I haven't actually had any food today yet. It is only 11 o'clock. Let me go to the supermarket. Yeah. I mean, I have a twofold problem with that. Is when I order things for delivery, they keep sending me things with the shortest dates on. Like the last time I got a delivery from, I'm gonna shame them, Morrison's. Come on, do better. I booked the delivery, so I always book the deliveries for late at night because I know that if it's, especially on a day where I'm coming back from work, I book it for late at night so I know I'll be here when it arrives. I got this delivery 10:15 at night, and they had sent me a tub of hummus that was expired that day. Like, yeah, I know a tub of hummus is not going to understand the concept of it striking midnight and it being a new day, but did they really think that I was going to, in 2.25 hours, eat an entire tub of hummus? Like, I'm not going to eat that as a midnight snack. And it should have been reduced that day, but instead they gave it to me, and I was like, thanks, I can't use this now. Because either I'm going to be eating it while it's expired, and if I get sick, there isn't anything I can do about it, or it's actually already off. Because, you know, if it's not fit to eat the next day, then it wasn't fit to eat the day before, in my opinion. Like, things don't just go mouldy overnight. So I was like, this isn't what I wanted. Because I had like 4 tubs of dip for a party that was 3 days away. And I've just had to throw one of them in the bin. But then equally, as I found out the other day, when I ordered stuff online, then went, oh shit, I didn't get XYZ. I guess I'll walk, go to the shop, because I can get the bus there. It's a bit of a faff, but I can get the bus. Spent, like, the only reason why I've been going to Morrison's is because their minimum order is like £25. I never do just the minimum order, never happens. But I have the option if I only need a few things. Yeah, spent like 40 quid online. Spent another 60 in store because I kept seeing reduced things. I was like, oh, I can put that in the freezer. Oh, I can put that in the freezer. And yeah. So I didn't actually save myself any money by going to the shop. Yeah. Um, yeah, normal groceries, some cakes as well. Ooh, nice. Cakes are good. You have reminded me that after stream I need to go hobble my way to the shop because for some reason, I have been craving coconut, specifically coconut cake. Just my brain is like, you need to make a coconut cake because I want to eat it. Nowhere else makes them for me to purchase one. So that means I have to go find a recipe and then go make one myself. Guess what one of the things was that I was meant to get on the online order, which they didn't have any stock of, annoyingly. And then when I went to the shop, coconut. And I forgot it. So now my brain has been screaming me all week that it wants coconut cake. I haven't been able to make it. First world problems, I know. Can't drive, have mobility issues, delivery is a lifesaver. Oh, 100% who. I know exactly what that is like. Like, that is literally the only reason why I've been using online deliveries, is because I'm like, I literally do not have, well, I don't have the time. When I have the time, I don't have the energy. And when I do have the time and the energy, I don't necessarily have the, like, mobility to be able to walk or even get the bus and then ahoy a massive, like, I've got one of those shopping carts, you know, like the granny trolleys. I love them. They're amazing. I would literally not be able to get my food home if I didn't have one of those. Like if I go to the shop, but even that, you can't fit a whole lot in there. Not doing a weekly shop for 2 people, so sometimes it's just easier to get them to drive to my house. So I totally get it. It is really good. I just wish that they took more care in the way that they send things. Well, I mean, last time I wouldn't have got an order. It was actually on the same order as the same order as the expiring hummus, is that I'd ordered some yogurt, and it's just like a tub of Greek yogurt because I wanted a healthy breakfast, and it had exploded in their crate all over it. So I didn't get the yogurt, and then because I couldn't walk to the shop, I just had no breakfast. So that was upsetting. I did at least, you know, I was like, I wasn't mad at them. The guy was like, oh my god, I'm really, really sorry. And I was like, you know what, it's not your fault. These things happen. And then fortunately, on that same order, I had bought a load of kitchen rolls, so I just gave him some to wipe it up. So I was like, yeah, I'm not sending you back having exploded yogurt stinking up the van. At least clean it up, like, first, because that's not fair. It's not like, you know, it's not his fault. So he's pretty good about it. It was quite nice. Stopped using Morrison's as it got to the point where as many as 5 items were missing. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I'll be honest, that was also another thing as well, for a little while I stopped doing online orders, because every single time, and again, I know obviously there's supply issues right now and all of that, every single time I order stuff, like, it'll be, oh, we're really sorry, we couldn't deliver you X thing, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but, like, why did you let me purchase that if you knew that you didn't have any? Like, I have planned X meal around Y food, you know, and now I have Y is now missing. I can't make X. So you've literally just prevented me from doing my entire week's food. Like, I am not yet confirmed autistic. I know I am. Because when that happens, it really distresses me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to find a way that I can healthily deal with how upset I am right now, because it's not your fault, but it really pisses me off. Bus, God no, can't be doing with sitting in a noisy, rattly metal box with other people. Too much, let's re one. Yeah. Oh, they're actually over on the bed right now, but I have to take the bus because it's the only way I can get around anywhere, especially to work. I bought myself last year. I splashed out. I bought a ridiculously expensive pair of noise cancelling headphones. The only reason why I did so is because a friend of mine had some and he let me try them, and I was like, because I've had noise cancelling headphones over the years, they're never noise cancelling, they're always shit. These ones are amazing, and honestly they have saved my life because I wear them every time I'm on the bus now. I cannot deal with the noise, and like, there are still some noises it doesn't quite block out, but for the most part they are fantastic. Like, I could have someone standing next to me, like this close, talking to me, and I cannot hear them. It's amazing. Because otherwise, yeah, I would not be able to deal with buses either. I want to murder people, especially the kind of people that either like are just letting their kids scream on buses, or the people that have like their phone like on super loud, or just having a really loud private conversation. You know, like, could you maybe do this when you're not in public? Just, you know, have some respect that there are other people here. It's not that hard. But yeah, I realise that I am very old and very grumpy. I am a very old grumpy person in my soul. Don't have issue here. Morrison's doesn't don't have that issue. Morrison's doesn't deliver. Okay, yeah. I mean, if it was just one place, I would just stop using them. But I've had substitutions and stuff for so many places now. I'm just like, it's gonna happen regardless of where I go. Always allow substitutions. Sometimes get to discover things I wouldn't normally get. Yeah, that's fair. The one time, though, I have to say that I really despised their logic of substitutions was when I had COVID. So, obviously, because this is when we were living in a flat still. I mean, besides the fact that I was literally too ill to be able to get out of bed and do anything for myself anyway, I couldn't use the communal kitchen space because obviously I would be infecting literally everything that I touched. So I had ordered stuff like mashed potato, like ready-made mashed potato, so that I could have a meal. You know, that's easy to throw together, or at least easy for my flatmate to throw together and, you know, just post at the door kind of thing. Because she doesn't really cook a whole lot anyway, so I'm the one that will stand there and make a coconut cake because that's what I want. You know, I am a baker and a cook by choice, whereas she is not. So I was like, I don't want someone, you know, slaving away for 2 hours to make me a meal that I'm potentially not gonna want if I'm not feeling well. So ordered like loads of the ready-made like tubs of mashed potato, and they substituted them for peeled potatoes in a bag. And I cannot tell you how utterly angry I was at that, because it's like, this is not... You could have substituted it for any other mashed contents, and you chose something that I physically cannot cook that is now going to go in the bin. So I think we did end up using the potatoes in the end, like before they went off, but the fact that it was also peeled potatoes, so they have to be kept in the fridge and you have to use them within like 2 days because like they're peeled and they will just go moldy very, very quickly. So I was like, great, I'm like day 3 of this, I'm not going to be out of bed before these go off. And I was furious because I had no food. Every time Sainsbury's substitute, the delivery driver asks if the substitute is okay if I want to return it. Really fun. Yeah. Like, to be fair, for the delivery drivers here, they have been really, really good at that. The problem in that instance, obviously, was because I couldn't be at the door physically to tell them no. I hadn't known at the time that they had substituted it. So, couldn't tell my flatmate to send them back. So we ended up with them. Or I did tell them, she forgot, I can't remember. But either ringing the pen. Either way, yeah. Ended up getting those and I was like, this is great, but now I have no food. I think that was like the worst of the online deliveries that I got though. Because there was like quite a spate of having really bad online deliveries where every single week, or every single time I would order stuff, like it would have a huge list of substitutions and I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. But it has actually got a lot better now. I just wish they wouldn't give me expired food, but you know, that's a whole other problem to solve. I'm just concentrating a little bit more because these ones, like, because there's not any of the little dots next to them, it's just like slightly sporadic. I want to make sure that I line these up nicely so that the other ones will fit. Hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Always take the substitution if totally allowed autistic me to take over. I'd buy the same thing every single time. The way of getting some tiny amount of variety in my diet. That is absolutely fair, Who. I cannot argue against that, and I wish that I could. This is a problem. It's like my brain is very much set in this way of like, if I've asked for X thing, I expect that. So it's that thing of like when it changes last minute and they go, oh, by the way, we can't actually give you this, but here is this other thing instead. You'll want that, right? And I'm like, no, I don't, because I bought this for a reason. And then everything else goes out the window. But then the other side of my brain will go, oh, well, I've bought X thing to do exactly this with it, and don't want it now. Like, but it's there and I've purchased it, don't want it now. Like, I wish the two halves of my brain would communicate with each other so that I know what's going on, is all I'm saying. So there are some days where I will literally get what I want and then I still end up not eating it. And it's very tiring to live that way. Quite tired, but okay, thanks. How are you? How's the dots going? I am good. I am also very tired. Dots is going well. We are on, so I did these 5 lines last time. I did do a few over here off stream because I had like a little clump, like a couple of little clumps that I hadn't finished before I wrapped up last time, and I was like, I want to put the dots on those so that line, like those lines are done and then there's no gaps. Because I remember you saying about if the gaps are left too long then it will dry up. So I finished those off stream because I didn't know when I was going to stream again. Well, That sounds really dramatic. I didn't know when I was going to stream next. So I did those just to stop it from drying out. But I'm on the next 5 rows and I've been waffling quite a lot. So we've got some done over here and we're getting some done over here. But yeah, it's going all right, I think. I've also now got all of the little packets. So I got them all nice and labelled and thrown in a pile on the side. So yeah, it's been going pretty well. Be a young Hoover as well. I mean, as long as you're not an old Hoover, because you know, old Hoovers that just don't quite do what they used to. Oh, I have not put that one on straight at all. There we go. There was a gap next to that one and it was just like completely covering half of that space. So I need it to not do that because the next dot won't fit. Right. So that was the E's. We are done with the E's, finally. That took a while. I know I was talking a lot. But yeah, finally I can move on to the next set of dots. It has only taken me an hour. Every die father needs a Dyson. There we go. Put that one to one side. So having like all of the, I actually can't see as well. There we go. Yeah, see a little bit more of his space now. So I have all of the dots that I haven't used yet on this side, and all of the dots that I have used for this row on this side. So that I'm like, there's less bags for me to get confused with. So P is the next one, and that is 13. That's what you do. Oh, good. I'm glad that I'm subconsciously learning all of these tips and tricks. Oh, actually, Lou, as it is Wednesday, are you around later? For maybe some Phasmo? Because I'm a wuss, but also I was feeling really, really tired yesterday, and I was like, I just do not feel up to getting scared the shit on that one. Oh my god. So I didn't actually end up playing any yet. I don't actually know what this week's challenge is. No pressure if you are not around, but I just thought actually. Ooh, I'm flinging those. I'm too aggressive with the throwing. That as Asbo. Sorry. I am properly slurring my words right now. Can you tell I am tired? Yeah, Phasmo, not Asbo. Possibly didn't sleep well, so pretty tired, and we'll see how I feel later if that's okay. Yeah, that is totally fine. I completely respect that as a response. I'm off, and other than building IKEA furniture, I have nothing else to do particularly. So, oh, lovely. Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing that one on my own then. Either way, I'm either not going to open the game, or I'm not actually even going to make it, even if I do open the game. So, okay, good to know. That's gonna be fun. Even in sim struggle. Shit. Oh, did it on Monday, but took forever. There. That is going to be interesting then. I'm just gonna. I started this day feeling boiling hot because it was just roasting in here. So I threw open both windows and had the fan on my desk going, and now I'm cold. I'm wearing shorts, but I also don't want to get up to get my blanket. Zero sanity, no hiding, no smudgies, crucifix on prison. Oh no! There's challenges, and then there is just... ugh. I can never remember whether it's sadism or masochism that's like the one that you inflict on others versus the one you inflict on yourself. But it's one of those. Guessing that's not a good thing. No, that literally just means that you are fully going to die as soon as you step in there. Prison is huge as well. Like, it's not an easy map. The idea that you can't even bloody hide. Oh god. Well, I hope you don't get a rev then. If you've got a deocean, you're gonna be fine, but if you get a rev, it's screwed. Okay. Let's start filling in these little gaps. I'm still not convinced that I can really tell the difference between these. There are supposed to be like 3 different. You just get chain hunted. Oh, and the ghost is fast. What? Why? Why are they so mean? Why do the devs hate us? We've been so patient while they patch this game, and this is how they repay us? By just murder? Well, I guess that's one way to get me over my fear of death in this game. I don't feel like that was the kind of exposure therapy that I needed. Oh, and it's 1 tier items. I don't like these people very much. I'm sorry I asked the question. Can I rescind? Maybe I can skip this week. Oh, that's fucking horrible. Oh no. I mean, yeah, it'd be absolutely hilarious. All I'm just saying is I am very sorry if I scream really loudly and make your ears bleed. Because I don't think I'm going to react very well to that. Maybe I'll get myself a bottle of wine from the shop and I'll go to get the coconut. And do that after I've made the cake, so at least I've got something to keep my nerves. Dose myself up on sugar and alcohol and I'll be fine. Forgot Power Wash Sim update is tomorrow. Ooh, nice. Is that just like, are they just doing a regular patch kind of thing, or have they got new content out? I think I can't remember if no, I haven't got Power Wash Sim. I've got Lawn Mowing Sim, I think. I think I got that free on Epic or something. Free content. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got, I kind of want to get Power Wash Sim, but then I'm also like, I've kind of got enough of those kind of games right now. You know, sort of like well, I've got House Flipper, so that's kind of my go-to game of like, it's something to do without having to think too much. So I don't know in reality if I would really play Power Wash Sim. And I don't really have a lot of extra cash right now to be playing that, so I want to be buying it rather. Played Lawn Mowing Sim a while back. Yeah. I saw someone, it was quite a while ago. Actually, when I first started watching their streams, lovely streamer, Brothers Kamara. Well, there's usually two of them because they are brothers. But one of them, Tommy, he usually does a lot more solo streams because they don't live together. So it's usually like when they've both got time to like play online games that they do join streams. But he was doing a drunk stream of Lawnmower Simulator, which was absolutely hysterical. Because yeah, after a while I'm just watching the mowing getting progressively worse and worse. There were not many straight mowed lines on that stream. I love those chill games where you don't have to think. Yeah, I was definitely having one of those days yesterday where I was just like, I want to play games, but I do not have the brain power to think about anything. I literally had House Flipper on for most of the day yesterday. And it reached a point where I had turned House Flipper off. And you know the music in House Flipper, right? It's so subtle and ambient. So I have it turned down like pretty low anyway. I could still hear the music playing in my head on a loop for about 2 hours after I closed the game, because I think at that point I was just so used to hearing it. I'd literally sat down at like 10 in the morning. Well, I sat down, I was on the computer earlier than that, but I think I actually switched it on at like 10 in the morning and I didn't actually close the game for like 10 at night. So every time, like, I wasn't even necessarily playing the game, it was just every time I was on the computer, I was just listening to that playing in the background, and yeah. I turned it off and I could still hear the music playing. I was like, the game has been closed. This is just in my head now. Which, to be fair, I mean, there is worse music to have in my head. Just because, yeah, you have earworms. Yeah, it was serious earworms. Like, because I wasn't even playing games. Well, I wasn't actually, to be fair, on the computer the entire day yesterday. It was just because I was doing stuff here and there. And every time I'll come back to the computer, because I'm terrible, I just leave it on. Unless I know I'm going to be going out for like several hours. If I'm literally like going downstairs, putting in some washing, coming back, you know, doing that kind of stuff. Oh, thank you for the follow, Clara. Welcome in. Yeah, I tend to just leave the computer running, so I just have the game open. So every time I sat down and put my headphones back on, I was just like hearing music, just chilling. So yeah, that was fully just stuck in my brain. Just need to scroll up a little bit. Yeah, sounds like most games played over the years. Yeah, I just like chill games. I do want to get back into No Man's Sky though, because I haven't played that for ages. I kind of also forgot where I was going with it, so I might have to start again. I know they just released a load more stuff, so fun. Played a bit of Power Washing Sim, Lawnmower Sim, found them both too boring. That's absolutely fair, right? It's sort of, I wouldn't say that it's Marmite, because, you know, I think it's sort of that thing of like, everyone has times where those games work for them, times when they don't. But I think it is also just one of those things, like, you know, I feel like it entirely works on how your brain works. And if your brain needs a certain level of input to, you know, keep engaged or interested in the game, those games ultimately ain't gonna work for you. Because the whole point of them is just mindless kind of thing, I feel. That's what I really like about them. Like the boringness, because you can just zone out. Yeah, exactly. Did you ever have Tamagotchi? They make Grogu ones now. Oh my god, no. I never had a Tamagotchi, actually. I kind of want one. I don't think I can deal with it. You will probably know this about my personality, having literally just said I have a tendency of playing games for a little while. Like, getting really fixated on that game, playing it for a while, and then forgetting about it. I can already see exactly where that would go with the Tamagotchi. I don't wish creature to suffer that fate. The biggest take them into school, the teachers confiscate them. Yeah. What I'm hearing is, the teachers just committed mass Tamagotchi genocide. I don't feel like that's the, you know. I don't really feel like that's an appropriate thing to teach kids. It's like, do as I say or I will murder your child. Just saying, teachers, you know. Let them have the Tamagotchi. And if it helps them concentrate, then it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But don't murder their children. Mid-lesson, all you'd hear is some random beeping noises. Oh god. I mean, I had a Furby, and I say had. It was the most bugged Furby. Nope. I keep playing this pen. I don't like it today. Yeah. My Furby used to wake up at random times, and you know, like the whole point of Furbies is they are like, they have motion sensor. They can detect when, you know, like you're doing motions in front of them and like moving them, because they've got like, I'm assuming some kind of tilt mechanic, so they know when they're being turned. And you're supposed to like turn them to wake them up. Yeah, that wasn't the trigger for mine. For some reason, it would just wake up whenever it felt like it, and that was usually at like 2 in the morning. And, you know, just start making the Furby noises and talking to itself. Personally, my feeling on that was that the house was haunted, but yeah, my parents weren't very happy, so they took the batteries out and didn't allow me to have any more. One day I will get that Furby working again and it will be hysterical. Furby organ. Oh god, that would actually be horrific. Just an organ that played Furby noises. Ugh. No. Yeah, no, I think as much as I adore Baby Grogu, I don't think I'd be getting a Tamagotchi version. I do kind of want the version that walks though, but I have a feeling those are stupidly expensive. nice. That's another set done. That was a lot quicker than I was expecting. It's amazing what happens when I'm not just waffling absolute nonsense and actually doing the dots. That bag wasn't sealed. Okay, what's the next one? I'll do the A's next because there's a lot more of those. They're sort of similar order. Actually, I think this is the exact order I did them in last time. So 14. I love how this is looking on camera because you can see already like the different colours and stuff. It's very shiny. I might actually even get to finish this row today. Probably gonna go till 12 again. I don't know whether or not Ju has got the internet up and running yet, but I'm hoping I'll see a post if and when she goes live. Because I will, well, I'll definitely be going to watch if Ju comes online, but I'll also go raid over. Do you still have an internet issue, so probably won't be on. Oh no! That is not good. Is it just that, like, maintenance stuff that's going on with it? It's a total shame because I was really hoping to see more streams this week being off. So I was saying earlier that collectively pretty much all of the people that I usually watch during the week have not been on. Just for various circumstances, which I feel it always happens whenever I take more, like, multiple days off. It's just always terrible timing, really, for me. But, you know, first world problems. Totally dropped that in one place. No, not that one. Not one. Go. No, not there. Don't go under the plastic. There we go. Yeah. Just put my hand to it. So apologies if you can hear a lot of noises outside. I do have the window open because it's been really, really warm in here. Because I'm putting furniture together later, I wanted the room to be a little bit cooler. But if it is, I don't know how noisy it is on the stream. So if it is noisy outside, just let me know. I'll close the windows for now. Because I think, judging by the noises, that the bin men might have just finally turned up. Which is oddly late for bin men. Sounds fine. Oh, okay, cool. Because it's recycling day as well, so I can just hear all the glass shattering every now and again. totally just flung that onto the wrong bit. That's the next bucket of tea. Nearly time to think about food. Ooh. What have you got, Hoov? Or what are your options if you haven't already decided? I am undecided whether to have I've got leftover katsu chicken and I'm undecided whether or not to have that or to have poached egg and muffin. I've also got some like big mushrooms as well. Actually worked very nicely yesterday. I just put the got on top of the stove, got like one of those big griddle things, like one of the I can't remember what they're actually called, but it sits on top of the stove burners, and then use that as like a grill. So got one of those, and I just used that yesterday to like cook the mushroom one, and then warm the ham up as well. So ham just had nice little griddle lines, which actually did make it feel a little bit more fancy. And actually, so because I got when I went to the shop the other day, they had like sort of like this slightly posher ham, reduced. So I bought that, sliced it because it was like the chunks were the slices were probably about that big. So I like cut them in half, and then just put them individually, like in layers of greaseproof paper, like stack them on top of each other, and then stuck them in the freezer. So then I can like just lift off one bit of ham, which is the perfect size for like putting on the muffins, and then I could just use them on the griddle to warm them up. So meant that I can basically just have ham on those whenever I want without having to keep buying more ham. Trying to minimise the wastage. I don't know if ham actually freezes very well, but I guess I'll find out. And if that works, I think I found my newest cheat of how to have eggs Benny without having to buy fresh ham every week. Piggies. I do love them. You have been a good influence on me, Lou, because I wouldn't have even bothered with poached eggs up until the point where we had eggs Benny at Spoons. I mean, I've never been particularly a breakfast person anyway, so I never I don't really ever bother with it, so I guess sort of never really looked at it before. But I mean, I like fried eggs, so I'm sure I'd had poached eggs before. And the thing for me is, I do not like vinegar. Like, cannot stand it at all. And I know a lot of people tend to use vinegar to poach the eggs in because it stops the. It's supposed to stop the whites from thinking. like leaking, which to be fair, my one yesterday did actually leak a bit, but I think that was because it was slightly older eggs anyway, and also I hadn't, the water wasn't very hot, so it didn't like, so I've got like these little poaching bags, for like little pocket things. You crack the egg into it and then you put that in. They're just like disposable ones, because I was like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna eat a lot of poached eggs when I initially got those. So I didn't really bother with getting like proper stuff. But it's just really easy because literally just crack the egg in and then just throw that in the pan and then it just does it all for me. But yeah, I didn't. I'd put more water in the pan before I put the egg in, so it was a bit colder, so it sort of leaked a little bit. But yeah, I don't use vinegar because I don't like it, so it's just egg. Have Peggy's on toast most lunchtimes. Okay. I know, I'm sure you said that you've got like a little machine to do poached eggs. How long do you usually do them for? Because the one thing that I haven't got very good at the moment is cooking them for the right amount of time. Obviously, like, I want the white to be cooked, but I tend to, like, the yolk isn't runny. I can't seem to, I think I'm leaving them in the pan too long. But yeah, I never get a runny yolk. I think I also just need to learn to take them out when the timer goes off. Never time it, to be honest. It just beeps when it's done. That is fair. I don't think I can deal with another kitchen gadget right now. So I probably will just do them in the pan whenever I'm having them, I will say. But maybe sometime in the future, if I win the lottery, I'll get myself an egg poaching machine and then I won't have to worry about it. But I've got so many things at the moment. The one thing I do need is a stand mixer, like a proper stand mixer. But if I was doing that, I'd be looking at a Kenwood, and if I'm looking at a Kenwood, I would need to buy a house so that I can remortgage it, because they aren't cheap. There's not many times I would go for like, you know, a specific brand. But my experience with Kenwoods is that they are usually reliable. They also, you can replace a lot of the parts, and also because they come with so many different attachments. So they've got just the ones that I know of. You've got an attachment for like mincing meat. You've got an attachment for like using it as a blender. Obviously you can use it for like mixing bowl and stuff. And those are kind of all of the things that I also want to get at some point. So it kind of makes sense to get it in one machine. So I've only have one machine to do that with. Because when you've got a slow cooker and an air fryer and an ice cream maker and a waffle maker, like, there is not enough space in this house for that. Especially not on the kitchen counter. So, do really need some way of like condensing down the amount of stuff. I'm just really obsessed with cooking, can you tell? If I had the opportunity, I would definitely have a proper like chef setup kitchen. I'm hoping to do some more like kitchen, like cooking streams at some point. Just trying to think. This is the annoying thing, because at the moment the only way I can stream down in the kitchen is either if I'm using my mobile, which obviously means I'm very limited because it's a very small screen, or if I use the laptop, but I don't think... I have a feeling the last time when I streamed on the laptop, like I remember looking back on some of the HelloFresh ones and I was like, I don't know how anyone put up with that because it was so shit. The quality was awful and I hate that I use that as like a paid promotion kind of thing. Like, God, what must they think of me? Because the quality was just absolutely abysmal. Because it really... it was a refurbished laptop and the graphics card alone is like a 10-year-old model that should not have been able to put up with the amount of stuff that I've thrown at it. How that thing is even still alive amazes me. So it's kind of that thing of like, I really want to do cooking streams, but I don't have the thingy right now, and I cannot lug this computer downstairs. And then monitor and everything. But I want to do a cooking stream. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way of doing that, because I've got all of these gadgets. So it would be really cool to actually use them. That was the whole premise of them from inception by the company founder, Ken Wood. See what he did there? Reliable kitchen appliances. And so they just kind of are. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, there are some things, you know, some brand things where I'm just like, yeah, like, that's really not, you know, really not all that good for what it costs. But yeah, I think the Kenwood appliances are probably the only thing I would actually say, like, yeah, it's worth actually spending the money on, because ultimately you're paying for its longevity. I feel like it's sort of like a little bit in the same vein as why, if I'm buying furniture stuff, I want to go to IKEA. Which I know is very different. Very different on the from kitchen appliances from Kenwood. But I know that a lot of the parts are interchangeable. You know, if something breaks, I can go back to IKEA and I can get that piece, take it home and fix the problem. With a lot of other places, like buying stuff on Amazon, like if something breaks, that's it, the whole thing's shit and you can't actually do anything. So I quite like modular things like that, where you can literally just pull something out, throw it away, replace it, and the whole rest of the thing isn't, you know, complete write off, because I don't feel like things should be like that. You know, I think you should just be able to repair things if things break. You know, it's it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more sensible at the end of the day because you're wasting less resources by being able to fix something rather than having to get it again. It's like I had well, I ended up with like the sort of the draw trolleys, like sort of got well, I bought it on Amazon. That's like a metal frame, and it's got like plastic drawers in the actual tower. It's got like loads of little plastic drawers, and I ended up with an entirely free version. I mean, it cost like 30 quid or something. So, to a lot of people, that's not a lot of money anyway. But I ended up with a second one for free, basically, because when I was building it, one of the plastic wheels broke. And I contacted Amazon. I was like, hey, so this happened, trying to build it, this thing is broken, can you just send me out a new wheel? And they were like, just throw it away and we'll send you a new one. And I was like, the whole tower, bearing in mind the only thing that was broken on this was the wheel. Everything else was fine. I could put everything else together fine. They were like, yeah, just throw the whole thing out. We'll send you a whole new replacement. I was like, okay. So I just took the other 3 wheels off of that one, and they still sent me the other one, so I just put them both together. So one of them doesn't have wheels, which, yeah, I suppose is a little bit of an inconvenience. But it's like, I'm not going to throw out a perfectly usable thing just because of the minor inconvenience that it doesn't have a wheel. Which, to be fair, I could probably find a very similar wheel or get a whole new set of them from somewhere and just replace them with different ones. So, yeah. I don't get stuff like that. It's like, surely it's got to be better to be able to replace things like that. Sorry. Probably having to head up soonish. I tend to look after the things I own so they don't fail prematurely. My thinking is that I'm the one that has to foot the bill for repairs and replacements, so it's up to me to take care of it. It's also why I get somewhat annoyed with people who don't show my things with the same respect. Simple rule: if you break it, you pay for it, and you pay what I paid, not what you think it's worth or what you can afford. Yeah, 100%. I just responded to a message. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like, there are some things where I'm just like, I can be a little bit more blasé about it. It's like, I'm blasé about it because it's mine. It's like, if I don't take proper care of something and it breaks, that's on me. At the same time though, it's like, I would never be that disrespectful to someone else's stuff, and I would expect them to be exactly the same. It'd be like, they can act however they want with their stuff, but if it's not theirs, then, treat it like it is your child, your firstborn, like, because at the end of the day, that's just respectful, right? Like, don't, but if you're disrespecting someone's stuff, then you're disrespecting them. So it's just like, just don't do it. yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like I do my best to look after the stuff that I have because, you know, I'm not. I know it probably doesn't sound like it when I'm talking about, you know, having a ridiculous amount of kitchen gadgets and stuff. But I buy, like, everything that I've purchased for myself, and I've purchased this over time. And to be fair, I usually go for the much cheaper options. That's the reason why my laptop is a refurb from eBay. You know, so when I do buy expensive stuff, I'm then A, expect it to last, and B, plan on maintaining it so that it does. Because I didn't have a lot growing up, and, you know, I don't feel like that is the only way that you can have appreciation for things. You know, it has made me appreciate when I can afford to get things that I want, or has made me appreciate, you know, being able to purchase the things that I do have a whole lot more. Because, like, well, you know, X amount of time ago, I couldn't have got that. Well, just flinging dots everywhere now. It does also sort of come as a double-edged sword of being like, there are also then times where I tend to put off making purchases because it is a large amount of money. Like the very expensive blinds that I need for in here, because I need proper blackout blinds. As you can tell from behind me, just the whiteness that is this window, it gets very bright in here. And I'm already a terrible sleeper, so when I'm woken up at like 3 in the morning by the sun rising, I tend to get very grumpy. So I need proper blackout blinds, and also it means then I can have like more controlled lighting in here, so for streams and that, I'm not then completely washed out. Makes you appreciate the value of what you have and pay for. Yeah, exactly. You know, and like I say, I'm not saying at all that anyone that, you know, didn't grow up with, you know, in a poor family or whatever, can't appreciate things, because I know that they can. From my personal experience, it has, you know, I've always had it instilled in me, the value of things. So it does take me a long time, especially when purchasing things solely for myself. It does take me a very long time of, you know, committing to that purchase and being like, do I need to get this right now? Or do I just want something new and shiny? Like, do I actually deserve to make this purchase? Probably not really the best way of going about things. I think again I'm gonna finish up these A's and then that's where I'm gonna call it. So I've got a few left. And I'm gonna finish there. Never get to the F's. Never end up finishing the F's. I am gonna try and be on tomorrow morning though. I'm not going to say anything that could fully sound like I'm committing, given the nature of what happened last time. But I will do my best to be on roughly around 10 o'clock. I don't think there's any point in me starting any earlier than that, because I don't expect many people will be up. I would not blame them. No, might be up for work, but probably not up for streams. Then at some point, hopefully, I shall be getting an email telling me what my shift pattern is next week, so that I will know. And then hopefully that means that I can then maybe plan something in the days that I am back at work, so that I have a little bit of a schedule. Well, maybe not a schedule, but I'll at the very least have times where I can stream. Try not to use the word schedule, because for me schedules never really work. The only time that I ever stick to a schedule is when it's for someone else. For some reason, if I try and motivate myself to do something on a schedule, never happens. Cool. So that is all of those done. We have the X left for tomorrow. So I'm just going to put the film back over just to keep those sealed. But I'll bring this over here. No. Zoom in. Just get a lovely shot of my shorts there. It's fine. Should not warm them. Yeah, you get to see all the sparklies. Yay! We'll just move this a little bit so you can see. Ooh, shiny. It is looking very good. I'm super excited. But yeah, cool. That is where I'm gonna end it for today. I'll just have a quick look, see if there is anybody online. There is not. That was a very quick check. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish up there, I think. Okay, this comes from getting myself a huge debt and having sod all money to do anything. Still question every purchase and whether it's necessary. That is absolutely fair, yeah. So, understandable. I am very much trying not to do the same thing, although I kind of have, because at the moment I am well, paying off all of the furniture that I had to buy. So it was a necessary purchase, but I set everything up in installments, and then I set up many other things in installments. So what has actually happened is that I am now paying everything back at once, which was what I was trying to avoid doing. That was a fun time. So yeah, I totally get that. It's not technically debt because I have like paid it in a sense. It's just that yeah, it's now all coming out in bits every month, and I kind of didn't really add all of those up because I'm terrible at maths. So yeah, it should be fine at Christmas. So I'm just trying to, at the moment, run through proper budgets and making sure that that doesn't happen again. But yeah, starting work at 7:30. Ugh, that is rude. You have my condolences, Lou. But yeah, so thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for watching. As I say, I'm going to try and be on tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, thank you for all listening to me just waffle absolute nonsense today, because I know that I have. But yeah, so I will try and be on tomorrow. I hope at some point you does get the internet solved and we'll be on, so we can, you know, carry on watching some more dots today. But yeah, I've had a lovely day, so I hope you all have lovely days too, and I will see you later. I'm all over the place today. Yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling. Bye.